So 1 year ago, I made this Discord server tutorial video. In fact, I was 1 day late to its anniversary, so I'd be really bad in a relationship forgetting all the anniversaries. Regardless, this tutorial was supposed to be very beginner friendly, and the issue with it is that I just gave you a server template and said, copy what I'm doing blindly. And I don't think it was a good educational aid. So in this video, I aim to teach you how to set up a Discord server from the ground up. You don't even need any experience with Discord, and it should be relatively clear. You should learn a lot and understand how a server works. So to start off, believe it or not, I need to click add a server, create my own, and we're going to skip this question for now because I don't really remember what settings it does. Anyways, we want to create a server name. Now, just please keep in mind that if you want to become a Discord partner, if that's your final goal, you need to have something that's unique. If you just have a Hangout and chat server, you're not going to get Discord partner, so find something unique. I can't think of anything, so I'm just going to do a Minecraft community server. And then you can upload an icon. I'm going to do that later on, but I'm going to click create. So when you create your server, you will have two default channels. You will have a default general text channel, and you will have a general voice channel. If you just hover over the icon, it'll tell you if it's a text or voice channel. What I'm going to do is I am going to create a category. Now we have categories here already. We have text channels and voice channels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click create category, and we're going to name it whatever. In this case, I want to have an information category where people can see rules, announcements, and get roles through reaction roles. So I'm going to call it information. Now, the thing with these channel categories is that you can add an emoji to them if you want. Information, I think of, I don't know, a script. There we go. It was a scroll. That's the actual word. I'm going to add a scroll, put a space, and click create category. You'll notice that it says information. Now it's blank right now. If I click on it, it's just going to drop down with nothing. We want to create a channel, and we want to call it rules, create channel, create another channel. We want to call it announcements, create channel, then another channel, and we're going to call it get roles. These are very foundational in every single Discord server, so we are just going to blindly copy and paste what I'm doing here. Now next up, you want to drag this category up to the top because it's important. It's all your important information. You want it to be at the top of the server. Now next up, we need to add in our staff channels. Now we're going to right click, create category. We're going to call it staff. This is just the staff channels. You can add an emoji of like, I don't know, a wrench. It makes sense, right? Staff, wrench, create category. I forgot to capitalize it. Doesn't matter though, because Discord automatically capitalizes channels. Now in the staff category, we are going to add 5 channels. Sorry, I'm looking at my paper and I got the number wrong. Anyways, we're going to add staff, chat, and whenever you press space, you will get this dash automatically. Then we are going to add a voice channel, and we're going to call it staff VC for voice channel, and click create channel. Then we are going to add a channel called mod logs. This is very important for our bot and also for our Automoderator through Discord. It's necessary. Then we need to have an updates channel, and this is for Discord's community updates. It's required. I know, I'm sorry, a lot of channels. And finally, we're going to have an admin chat channel, and this is so I can explain permissions later on and just make it a little more clear and easier for you to understand. It's not required, but once again, it just helps with the tutorial. So after I do that, I now have 4 categories. I have an information category, I have text channels, voice channels, and staff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on a category, this text channels category, click edit category, and I'm going to add an emoji because each one of my other ones have an emoji. So I'm just going to do bubble, and this is a chat bubble. Then I'm going to add a space, save changes, escape. And for voice channels, I'm going to do the same thing. Edit category, I'm going to do, I don't know, a megaphone, then space, and press save changes. Now, when I do that, you'll notice that each category has an icon. And now let's get into channels that are specific to your server. So if you have a server on Fortnite, you'd have, I don't know, Fortnite news channel or something like that, or Fortnite discussion. In this case, I have Minecraft community server. So I'm going to add a Minecraft channel, and you can have your own rules on what it is. So I'm just going to type in Minecraft, then click create channel. Then for another text channel, since, you know, it's a community server, sometimes people want to play other games, I'm going to have an other games channel so people could talk about, I don't know, Halo or whatever kids play these days. I don't even know. I'm too old for this. And of course, you need to add a memes channel. Trust me, just have a memes channel. People love it. I don't know why. So that's my text channels, and one thing I'd suggest is try to keep your text channels to a minimum. For example, if I go to my Discord server, you'll notice that if I expand everything, there's like pages and pages and pages of channels, and when someone just joins your server and they see all these pages, it can be a little overwhelming. So keeping it minimal, I think, is probably the best thing to do. But anyways, we're going to move to voice channels real quick, and we're just going to add a couple. Voice channel, and this is going to be called, like, I don't know, party 1, create channel. Then I'm going to create another voice channel called Party 2. So it's just a party of people that want to like hang out and chit chat with each other. And next I'm going to add a 1v1 channel. I know, kind of weird, but this is just to, once again, explain permissions later down the road. And finally, something that is required is creating an AFK channel for voice. So AFK. Now that's all your channels set up, and there's one thing I do want to show you because I know a lot of you like customizing your server, making it look really nice, and the thing you can do is you can actually add emojis next to channel names, and the way to do that is that in the description you're going to see something that looks like this. It's going to be a speech bubble and then a little vertical pipe and general. I want you to copy that. Then you can go to any one of your channels, click edit channel, and then clear it out and paste in what I sent you. And that will give you the emoji and this vertical pipe and the text channel name. And you can click save changes, and that will apply to your general channel. Now you can also do that on your Minecraft channel. So Minecraft, all you need to do is just paste this in, replace general with Minecraft. Oh goodness, that's not Minecraft. And then to add an emoji, if you're on a Windows computer, just press the Windows key and period together, and it'll pop up with this emoji panel. And this is where you can put, like, I don't know, a pickaxe. There you go, Minecraft, save changes, and kaboom. Now you might notice that different emojis will either look colored and look good, like the ones I have here, they're all colored and they look like normal emojis, but sometimes emojis can be a little weird and have this different icon. It's just the way Discord is, I'm sorry, so if this icon doesn't look good, you can always just go back and pick a different emoji. So you will have to go through a lot of emojis to find something you like. So I mean, you can do Minecraft with the penguin. There we go, it saves as a colored penguin. You can do that for every single channel. Just know that emojis sometimes work, sometimes they just don't. I don't, Discord just being Discord, I guess. Haha, a quick little cut in, I showed this out of order, but in these text channels, you can actually just click edit channel and you can add a little channel topic. So talk about whatever you want in here. Then what you can also do is add a slow mode. So if you only want people messaging every 5 seconds, you can add that. And once you have that, click save changes. And now you'll notice that in the general chat, I now have talk about whatever you want here at the top. And now someone can only send a message every 5 seconds. But since you're an admin, you can just really flood your chat. Whoa, Discord's getting mad at me. Oh, goodness. Now, once again, as a quick reminder, this 1v1 channel and this AFK channel, we're going to set all those up a little later on. I just wanted to get all the channels laid out so you can figure out what you want and kind of go through the fun part first. So next up, we need to enable our community tab and make it so that our server can not only apply for Discord partner once we get the proper metrics that we need, but we can also make it publicly available. Like if you click explore public servers, you can get your server in one of these lists if you just, apply for community and turn it on. So what we need to do is we need to go back to our server, click on the little drop down and click server settings. Then we need to click enable community and click get started. Now it's going to pop up with a couple of safety options. Turn both of these on. You can read them, but generally speaking, if you want to be partnered on Discord, you need to make sure that your server is squeaky clean, no NSFW stuff. You want to try and be as, very business friendly as possible. And in terms of this verified email, it's just good to have because it limits the amount of spam accounts that will join your server. So now we want to click the next button, and it's going to tell us to set up the basics, aka get a rules channel and a community updates channel. We are going to click on this drop down and we are going to click the rules channel that we created. Then for the community updates channel, we are going to look for the updates channel that I told you to create. Basically, the rules channel is going to be the default channel that people go into, and it also just has a little icon next to it showing that it's rules. And in terms of the updates channel, that's basically where Discord's going to send you a whole bunch of garbage spam that you just won't read. So I'm going to click next, and finally we have some finishing touches. I would just turn all these on, okay? And also make sure to read the community guidelines so you don't get your Discord server terminated. Okay, finish setup. That's it. Now we'll pop up with this window here, community settings, and you can add a little server description. So I'm just going to say this is a server focused on Minecraft. And you can put whatever your server's about. Once again, if you have something creative, you have a really good chance of getting in the partner program. But if it's the 30th, I don't know, chit chat server, at some point, you're probably not going to get partner. Anyways, click Save Changes, and kaboom, we now have the Community tab. Now, what does this Community tab do? Well, it unlocks Server Insights, which is basically just all your analytics for your server. You have to click Go to Server Insights. You have Partner Program, where you can apply for partnership. I got declined twice already. I'm not going to go for the third time. Actually, I probably will. You have Discovery, which is where you have the public Discord servers, and you have a welcome screen, which is actually pretty important. So we're going to click Set Up Welcome Screen, and we get to select a channel. Basically, what we're going to do is that when someone joins the server, they're going to have a pop-up showing a list of channels that they can go to talk about stuff, and we want to advertise that to them. So the first channel that we're going to add is our rules channel, and we can just add, I don't know, this one's funny, add a ruler and say, read the rules, ! And click save, and that'll be the first thing someone can do on your server. Add another channel, and then you can do the general channel, do a little speech bubble, so I do bubble, speech bubble, and say, chat about anything, ! Save channel. Then you can add another channel, and let's say Minecraft. You can say talk about Minecraft! Basically, just anyone that joins your server, you just want to give them a brief kind of introduction on how to use channels, and this is the best way of doing it. And I'm looking for a pickaxe for my Minecraft emoji. Then we're going to add one more channel, and it is going to be our Get Roles channel, and say, get your roles here! And in terms of roles, I'm just going to do a dice, because you roll a dice. I know, right? I'm a comedy genius. And you can rearrange these to however you want. So I'm going to arrange it like that. Now up here, you have, what's this server about? What do people do here? This is kind of like a brief intro into your server. This one I'm going to put ! Exclamation marks always make it very interesting and happy. Now when you click preview, you'll notice that it's just being wacky. So click enable, then you can click preview, and kaboom, look at that, Discord bug found in a video. Anyways, when it pops up, you will see welcome to Minecraft community server, and there you go. It says top things to do here. It says talk about Minecraft and Minecraft related content in here with like-minded individuals. Anyways, when you click on one of these, it'll take you to the channel, so read the rules. It will take you to the rules channel. Of course, we're in our settings, so it won't do that for us, but it'll do it for anyone that joins your server. Now, I'm just going to back out of our settings for a second to show you how the community tab works. You'll notice that I now have an events page here where I can set and create events. Then I also have my rules channel has this little bookmark thing or book that says rules if you hover over it. That's pretty important. Now, in terms of announcements, we need to right-click our announcements channel, click edit channel, and you will notice that you now have an announcement channel. So you enable that and click Save Changes, and what will happen is that now you'll have a little megaphone next to it that says Announcements. Just good for organization. You can have multiple announcements channels, but the main thing that announcements do is that if you type something in here, you can click Share with your followers and click Publish, and click Confirm, and when you do that, anyone that joins your server and clicks on the follow button will have these announcements sent to a different server. So I'll show you, click follow, and I can send this announcement to my own server. So I can send to Minecraft community server, and I can set it to, I don't know, the general channel. So whenever someone posts something on this announcements channel, it will go to my own server. So it's good if you have some sort of like Minecraft news or something. You can have it where if you put some Minecraft news in here, it'll be sent to your followers' channels, help increasing your spread or your growth of your server. Anyways, back into server settings because this is a server tutorial after all. And now what we're going to do is our overview. So we need to change our icon. So just upload some sort of image that makes sense with your server. Of course, this is a joke, but you know, upload something that's important. Now, next up we have inactive channel, and this is where we put in our AFK voice channel, because remember how I had that? Basically what happens is that if someone's in a voice channel and they're not doing anything for 5 minutes, they'll be pushed to the AFK channel. They won't be able to talk, they won't be able to hear anything. And you can change this timeout to 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. I'd suggest 15 minutes. Now next up we have this system messages channel, and this is where Discord sends all the garbage stuff. Main thing I would do is turn off send helpful tips for server setup, and also turn off prompt members to reply with welcome messages like stickers. This is up to you, just know that if you have this enabled, when someone joins your server, they can press the wave hello and you might get a whole bunch of sticker spam. It can be annoying, up to you, leave it on, turn it off. Then you can also have it where if someone joins your server, it'll send a message, and I highly suggest you just keeping that on. It allows new members to be welcomed by your community, helps to increase growth. Now, if you scroll down, just leave this setting here, it's perfect the way it is. Now we have display, and it has show boost progress bar, and this basically allows people to see how many boosts your server has and how close they are to a specific level. I'd turn this on 100%, but what are server boosts? Well, basically, if I click save changes, so things get saved, and I go to server boost status, you'll see all the extra benefits you get from people boosting your server. So you have more emoji slots, you have sticker slots, you can have an animated icon, different stream quality, different audio quality. That's the main things. And then as you go through more and more perks, you can have role icons. So that would look something a whole lot like this. I have a little icon next to my name because we are level 3 and above. So we can have that permission on my server. But if I go back and go to server boost status, you can have custom role icons, upload limit, then you can have animated server banners and a vanity link. So instead of inviting people by using the very complex invite people and then this link, it could be something like, I don't know, discord.gg/Minecraft server or something like that. Easier for people to remember and easier to discover. So that's kind of what server boosting is. Now let's move on to emojis. This is where you can upload emojis. Very straightforward. I really don't think you should have to go through this. It's just upload requirements, read these, make sure your photo matches, upload emoji. Same thing with stickers. It has some sort of requirements. You do have free stickers, which is nice. The requirements are a little more difficult, but once again, it's just uploading an image. Nothing too crazy here. Now we have integrations. We're going to look at this later when we do our rules channel because we want it to look very nice and pretty. Something a whole lot like this right here, you know, custom embeds and stuff. But in this case, we're going to skip it. Widget, this is a complicated thing. If you don't know how to make a Discord server, you probably won't be using this, so we're going to skip it again. Server template is great if you want to share your server template and how your server is laid out with other people. You can save this and you can send it to people. I'm going to have a server template in the description. And finally, we have the custom invite link, which is what I was talking about with that discord.gg/Minecraft community. In this case, you need to be level 3, but once you do it, you can just change the link. And if that link is available, then you will have that as your Discord custom invite link. So that's a lot of the fun stuff over because now we're on to rules. So go to rule screening, click setup membership screening, and this is where we get to kind of introduce the vibe of the server. Yes, I said vibe, so God, what have I become? But anyways, we get to have a description. So this is the same thing as that other description we wrote where it's like, oh, this is a Minecraft server where you could talk about Minecraft and Minecraft related content. You can put in whatever here, I'm just going to say. And then we have server rules. Now, new members must verify their email. You can change this by going to moderation settings, and I will be going there. And basically we can set up a verification level. And this means what kind of qualities does a Discord user have to pass before they can actually talk or join your server. In this case, the lowest one is they must have a verified email on their Discord account. Medium is that they must also be registered on Discord for longer than 5 minutes. Please just change it to medium. Then you also have high, which it means that they need to be on the server for 10 minutes before they can talk. And highest is that they must have a verified phone number. If you're getting rated a lot, change it to highest. If you find that a lot of people are just joining and spamming crap, go to high, but medium is at least the lowest that you should have it. Just keep in mind that this tab does exist. Now, if we scroll down here, you will have two-factor authentication requirement for moderation. Please turn this on. You will need to put in your authenticator code. And when you enable it, basically what it does is that anyone that is a moderator on your server needs to have two-factor authentication. So in case they get hacked or something, they're not going to blow up your server. To be fair, if they scan a QR code, then they could still have their server be blown up because QR codes are stupid. Anyways, that's just me complaining. Click save changes and we're gonna go back to rule screening. So now we have this get started button where we get to add in our server rules. Now Discord has this short answer paragraph, all this other stuff that was supposed to be coming out soon 3 years ago, and 3 years passed and it's still not out, so don't expect it to be out anytime soon. So now we can actually add our server rules. Now, you can think of good server rules, or what you can do is just copy off some sort of other Discord server. Oh goodness, who would ever think of doing that? If you're lazy, then you can also just click on the example rules that Discord applies. So be civil and respectful, add a rule, no spam or self-promotion, no age restrict or obscene content, add rule, help keep things safe. Perfect, that's some awesome rules. Click save. Once again, you can customize this to whatever rules you want to apply, but I'm just using the default because I'm lazy, okay? Then at the top right, click enable, then click preview, and this is how it'll look to anyone that joins your server. They will see emojis somewhere around here. They'll see the number of members, number of people online, then it'll say verify your email and all the rules, and they have to scroll down and click I have read the rules. Then they can click submit. Kaboom kabam, beautiful. Now, the thing about these rules is that people will never read them on this pop-up, so it's always good practice to add these rules to your rules channel, of course. Now, what you can do is you can be very basic and just type in blah, 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 copy all your rules, and it looks really boring when a message is sent like this. Well, we're going to amp up the quality a little bit and have something that looks like this. These are embeds. Of course, this image isn't loading because why would it? It's Discord, nothing works. Anyway, saltiness aside, let's just figure out how to do it. So what we need to do is we need to go to our Discord server settings. Then we need to go to integrations. We need to click create webhook. Then this is where we get to have our bot. This is going to be posting to rules, and we are going to name it rules ! Now you can change the avatar to be whatever. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this logo. Kaboom, it's the same as the server profile, it'll look professional, and we want to click copy webhook URL and click save changes. And make sure this channel is rules. You can change it to other channels, but rules, we want to make rules, so put it on the rules channel. Then what we need to do is we need to go to the disco hook link in the description. I'm going to have the description laid out in some way so it's clear, hopefully. I mean, maybe it won't be, but just look for this disco hook link. It should be just discohook.org. And what we're going to do is create our little custom rules section. So first thing to do is click clear all, then we are going to paste in our webhook. Then you'll see that it says rules, and it's a bot, perfect, right? Now what I'm going to do is, since I already forgot the rules that Discord automatically wrote for me, I am going to have disco hook on the right and Discord on the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the rules screening, and I am going to click edit on these rules so I can copy and paste them. I know, right? So what we're going to do is we have content, which this is just normal text like I was typing before. It's not too professional. So we're going to click add embed, and this is where we get to change and customize things. We have author and stuff, which is you can add like different photos and stuff. Honestly, just avoid this if it's your first time doing embeds. If it's not, then go wild, baby. But we're going to go to body, and this is where we're going to add our rules. So our first rule was be civil and respectful, and it had all this text. So I'm going to type in be civil and respectful. I should probably not use capitals every single time and type in, some sort of proper English, and also type extremely slow. I don't know why. Then for the description, I'm going to copy this and paste it right in, baby. Awesome sauce, right? Now you can change the color to be whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to do some sort of blue because apparently I just really love blue for some reason. I'm going to click add embed again, and this is where we're going to add our second rule. So go to body. This one is no spam or self promotion. So I'm going to type no spam or self promotion and go back to the Discord server rules and copy paste this in. Once again, if you made your own rules, then you can figure this out and make it work, and just have it where the title, the big text, is kind of the TLDR, the too long didn't read, because no one reads the rules. Just have it as point form notes, and then you can explain in the actual description part. And you can change the color to be the same color or a different color if you want. I think just having it a slightly different color is kind of cool, because you can have some sort of rainbow gradient or something. Alright, sick. So I added the rest of the things because no one wants to watch me struggle typing for 30 minutes. Then once we're done this, we just need to click send. And if I go back to Discord, so cancel and then press escape, you'll notice that in our rules, we now have be civil and respectful and all this other stuff. Oh, let's say you accidentally typed something incorrectly. How do we edit this webhook? Well, what you can do is you can totally just delete this and then resend it. But if you want to be fancy and you don't want to give anyone any extra notifications, what you can do is you can click on the three little dots up here, more, copy message link, paste in the message link. Then when you do that, you can edit this embed a little bit. So in this case, I'm just going to say no age restricted or very obscene content, just to emphasize something or some point, and you can click edit and kaboom, it gets edited. So anyways, at the end of the day, we now have our fancy dancy rules channel with a bot that sends the message And when we join the server, we have those little pop-ups of not only the rules popping up here, but we also have that other thing where it's like, hey, join this server and do all this other stuff. All right, so here comes the worst part, roles and permissions. Now, I am going to explain a lot of the permissions and how they work. If you understand roles and permissions, just feel free to just skip right through this section. That's why I got the timestamps there. Anyways, go to your server settings and go to roles, and the first thing we want to do is we want to modify the default permissions, and I'm also going to explain how default permissions work. So, we click on everyone, and we now have these permissions here. And basically, this is a very long list of things, and a lot of them are very important because it dictates whether or not your server is easy to blow up or if it just won't function at all. So to start off, we have view channels, and basically this means that someone can actually see the channel. You want that enabled for everyone. Next up, we have manage channels. If you have this enabled, it allows people to create channels, edit, or delete channels. Turn that off for everyone, so just leave it the way it is. We have manage roles. That's what we're doing right now. We're making roles, we're editing roles. You want to make sure this is disabled for everyone. Next up, we have manage emojis and stickers. That's just like adding emojis and stickers. We want that disabled for everyone. The next up, we have view audit log, and audit log is basically just kind of like a history of what's going on. So you'll notice that I deleted new role and created new role, and that's because I'm just messing up a lot. But this shows you everything that has been done on the server, which is very important. As someone who owns a server, you get to see what's going on and make sure everything's all in tip-top shape. But if we go to the everyone permissions, we don't want everyone to see the audit log. Next up, we have view server insights, and that's in this little tab here, and it just shows like how many people viewed your server. You want to turn that off for everyone. Then you have manage webhooks, which is what we did for our rules. You want 100%, make sure this is disabled for everyone. Just leave it the way it is. Then manage server. This kind of just allows you to go into your server settings, leave that disabled. Next up is the membership permissions tab. We have create invite, very straightforward. You can have that enabled or disabled. If you find a lot of people are creating spam invites, you can disable it. It's not a huge thing, just keep it enabled. Then we have change nickname, and this allows someone to change their own nickname. Turn that on. Manage nicknames, though, is where someone can change other people's nicknames. You want to leave that off for everyone. That's only a staff command and permission. Next up, you have kick, ban members, and timeout members. This is basically kick, ban, and mute. A timeout is a mute. You want to make sure that not everyone can do that. Imagine the mayhem if everyone could ban people. That would be miserable, so turn that off. Scrolling down, we have text channel permissions. We have if you want someone to send messages, have it enabled. If you want people to send messages in threads, have it enabled. Create public threads. This is where people can create their own public or private threads in these two options. Please just turn these off. Discord has kind of incorporated threads in a really poor way, and I don't think they're really well done, so I would just turn these off. It'll save you a headache down the road. Next up, we have embed links, and basically, you know how people like send GIFs in like Tenor or whatever, so if I go to my server, I could do like /tenor and send in a GIF of some sort, so I don't know, GIF, thankfully, nothing I have to blur out, but if you have view embeds disabled or embed links disabled, then they can't send GIFs. I would honestly just leave it on unless you're seeing a lot of people use it to send a lot of bad stuff. Next up is attach files. This allows people to upload files. Keep it enabled or disabled, really up to you. I just say keep it enabled for now, disable it, and kind of work things out later down the road when that issue arises. Next up, use external emoji. Straightforward, allows people to use external emojis and stickers. Mention everyone here in all roles. This basically means that you can mention everyone, you can mention here, and you can mention specific roles like, oh, I don't know, member or staff or admin. That stuff you want to keep disabled for everyone. This is a very dangerous permission because people can just spam everyone ping, and it's a disaster, okay? So leave it off. Manage messages allows people to delete messages or pin them. Keep this disabled. It's a staff command. Manage threads, the same thing, but you just manage threads. It's a staff command, permission, keep it disabled. Read message history. This is very important. When someone joins your server, you want them to be able to see the rules and stuff. Leave this on. If you turn this off, it'll make it so that people can't read what was sent before they join the server, which is really not good. Just keep this on, please, unless you have a very specific use case for it. Send text-to-speech messages. If you look at the name of my YouTube channel, that'll explain how to keep this setting. Keep it off. Use application commands. This is just using / commands. Keep it enabled. And finally, or is it finally? No, there's still so much more. Next up, there's voice channel permissions. You want people to connect, keep it enabled. Speak, keep it enabled. Video, keep it enabled. Use activities, that's just like playing games, keep enabled. Use voice activity, keep it enabled, but if you find people are like, I don't know, spamming in their microphone, you can turn this off, but just keep it on. People don't understand when it doesn't work. Priority speaker, this is a staff command. Basically, they can use a button on their keyboard so that they're louder than everyone. Keep this off for everyone because this is, once again, a staff permission. Mute members allows you to mute people in voice channels. That's a staff permission. Do not enable it. Deafen members, you get to make sure no one can hear or speak. Once again, a staff permission. And move members allows you to move members between channels. A staff permission, once again. There's so many of these permissions, I'm going to lose it. We have stage channel permissions, request to speak. If you have a stage going on, people can ask if they can speak, and an admin can, allow them to speak, or whatever, stage moderator. Just keep it enabled. Manage events, this is a staff command where you can manage events, keep it disabled. And administrator, this is the worst permission to give anyone on planet Earth. It is very dangerous. Make sure you have it off. Anyways, that's all the permissions. I disabled a couple. Just as a quick reminder, I disabled create public threads and create private threads. Click save changes. And that's all the permissions. So now let's create our first role, and we are going to create an admin role. So I'm going to go new role, click on the plus thing, and I'm going to change it to admin. Now, since I'm going to have reaction roles later in the video that allow people to change the color of their name, I'm going to leave the role color as default. If you have the role color as a different color, like something like purple, then what will happen is that basically when you set up all the color roles and stuff, your admin won't be able to change their color. So it's up to you. If you want your admins to have a very specific color, then select a specific color. But if you want them to be able to change their color, then just leave it as default. Now we have this thing, if we scroll down, called display role member separately from online members. Now, if you go to my server, you'll notice that admin has their own little separation of their role in the user list. Same thing with support team, staff, server boosters, and all that stuff. That is this setting right here. So we are going to enable that. And then we have allow anyone to mention this role. I would enable this for any staff role because, if there's anything going wrong in the general chat, then people can spam ping your admins for them to ban someone or mute someone. So turn that on and click save changes. Now, if I go to permissions, this is where I've messed up this video like 30 times already because this is just too dang complicated. Now, the way permissions work in Discord is that they kind of overlap on each other. Basically, whatever role has a permission enabled, then they will have that permission. But you might think that if I clear permissions from my admin role, so they have no permissions at all, and I click save changes, you might assume that they might not be able to, view the channels or whatever. So if I go to display and go to view server as role, you'll actually notice that if I click select roles, I'm viewing the server as an admin, but they can still see all the channels. Why is that? Well, that's because the admin is also considered everyone. They have the permissions of everyone. So what this all means, I know, very convoluted. Good job, Discord, in making something easy. Is that for your staff and admin roles, just clear permissions and then add permissions that specific member should have. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I want my staff, my admin, to be able to manage channels. So if I don't have manage channels enabled and I go to view server as admin role, so this is just, everyone, or yeah, let's just leave admin. It has no permissions. If I right click on a channel, I won't be able to edit the channel. However, if I go back to my settings, then go to roles, go to admin, I go to permissions, and I click manage channels and click save changes. If I go to display, then go to view server as role, I'm now viewing the server as an admin. I can right click a channel and click edit channel. However, if I disable admin and I'm just everyone, you'll notice that I am not able to edit any channels. Hopefully that made some ounce of sense. I know I'm trying to decipher Discord's mess of garbage, so hopefully it was helpful. Now, in terms of admin, you can go through each one of these permissions, but if you really do trust your admins, you can also scroll down and just enable the administrator advanced permissions. However, let me reiterate, this is a very dangerous permission to grant because it allows them to do everything you can except delete the server. So if you don't want your admin to, change your server's name or change the server's icon and all that stuff, then you need to go through these specific permissions. Now, I'm going to do that for my moderators instead, but I'm going to have admin as the full administrator permission. So save changes. Now admin can do everything. Next up, I'm going to create a role. This one's going to be called Moderator. and this is once again going to have a default color, display role members separately, and allow anyone to mention. I'm going to click Save Changes. Now, on the top left here, we have something very important, and this is the hierarchy of the roles. Now, the way that it's organized now is actually the right way, but let's just mess it up a little bit and let's have it this way. What this basically means is that anyone at the top of this list is more powerful in terms of who they can ban or kick than anyone below them. So in this case, the moderator is actually above the admin role. So what this means is that if I gave this moderator permission to kick people or ban people, all these permissions, then they can actually do that to the admin. That doesn't make sense though. But if I change it around and I make it so that the admin is on top of the moderator, it has a higher hierarchy, and I set it so that a moderator can kick, ban, and mute members, they will not be able to target the admin. This is a very good way of preventing, I don't know, some sort of uprising of your staff to blow up the server. Basically, it's just have it sorted where the most important people, the most powerful people are at the top, and everyone else is at the bottom. That sounds like a dystopian horror of some sort. Anyways, let's configure the moderator permissions. I'm going to click Clear Permissions, click Save Changes, so that moderator role has 0 permissions, and now we're going to opt in the permissions that we want the moderator to have. So I really don't want my moderator to manage any of the channels, I just want them to make sure that people are getting kicked, muted, banned from both voice chat and text chat. So I'm going to keep scrolling down, manage emojis, no, view audit log. Not really, I don't think they should care about that. Server insights, nope. Create invite, change nickname, nope. Now for manage nicknames, I want it so that if my moderator sees a really bad word in someone's nickname, I want them to be able to change their nickname, so I'm going to enable that. I also want to make sure that my moderator can kick members if they're doing anything stupid, or ban members, and even mute members, so I'm going to enable all those. Now, if you have some sort of trial mod system, you might want it where only trial mods can time out members instead of kicking and banning them. That's kind of a little bit of nuance that you build into as you grow and expand, but as it stands now, I'm just going to have an admin role and a moderator role. Okay, and then we'll have all the other fancy-dancy fun roles later on. Now, scrolling down, we have create public threads and private threads. I would just enable both of those for moderator because, you know, in a staff chat or maybe, you know, one of the moderators wants to have a thread, a public thread for everyone to contribute to. It's a fun thing to have. It's just they know that if they create the thread, they have to moderate it. Now, scrolling down some more, we have mention everyone here and all roles. For a moderator, I would not have this enabled. I mean, from personal experience, I've had some of my moderators ping everyone as a joke, and some people don't find it funny. I don't know why. Anyways, next up we have manage messages, and this allows people to, or your moderator to delete messages or pin messages. Very important. If someone sends a bad word, then your moderator can delete it, but hopefully Automod would pick that up, and we're going to configure that later. Now we have manage threads. I would enable that personally so that they can delete the thread that they made if they did make a thread. Read message history, that was in the everyone role, so we don't need to enable it. We have send text-to-speech messages. Keep this disabled because look at the name of this channel. Application commands, this is already enabled in the everyone role, so it's already enabled, so it doesn't matter if we enable it here. So I'm just going to keep it disabled. Then if we keep scrolling down, same thing here. This is already enabled in the everyone role, but I'm only going to give the moderator the important permissions. So priority speaker, that's important. Let's say people are talking and they want to stop the argument. They press the priority button, they get really loud, and they tell people to stop yelling in the dang voice call. Mute members, keep that on. Deafen members, turn it on. Turn these on. Turn the bottom 4 on. Now, just once again to reiterate the permissions and how they work, if I go to everyone, you'll notice that basically it's kind of like the inverse. All these channel permissions for everyone is connect, speak, video, all that stuff is enabled, but they don't have all these moderator commands like priority speaker, mute members, deafen members. However, for the moderator, it's the exact opposite. All these are enabled, except these are disabled, and that's because, once again, these permissions stack on top of each other. So everyone, this is kind of like enabled, and the moderator is a part of everyone, so now they get all these enabled when they are a moderator, and they get these extra ones. I know, right? Really hard to explain because Discord just, It's just the way it is and you have to learn to deal with it. Now you have this request to speak thing. It really doesn't matter if you have it on or off. It's already on in everyone. Then manage events, I would have that as enabled because I know a lot of my moderators personally like to start events and stuff, and it's just fun to have. So let them have the permission to do that. And now we have the administrator permission. Once again, they're not an administrator. This is a very dangerous permission to grant. You don't want your moderator to change the server icon or server name, all that stuff. We leave it off. And then we click Save Changes. All right, so that's all your role permissions. And let's take a break from permissions by doing channel permissions. Oh, awful. So anyways, we have two different types of permissions. We have channel permissions, which apply to specific channels, and then we have category permissions. I'm going to start off with the staff permissions here because it's actually really easy to understand. It's the most straightforward way of understanding how it works. So for all these staff channels, we don't want this available to anyone other than our staff. So we need to right-click on the category, click Edit Category, then we go to Permissions, and we need to enable this as a private category. Having a private category makes it so that only members and roles will be able to view this category. So we're going to click Add Members or Roles, and we are going to click Moderator and click Done. Now you might be thinking, whoa, the admin role just came out of nowhere. Admins that have the administrator permission can view any channel. Any channel, doesn't matter what type it is, they can view it. So that's just something to keep in note. But you want to make sure that your moderator is able to see the staff channel, of course. Click Save Changes, and now if I go back to the top left, go to Server Settings, go to Roles, and I go to my moderator, and I click on it, then I go to View Server as Role, you'll notice that if I view the server as a role, the moderator can see all the staff channels. If I go to Select Roles and turn off Moderator, you'll notice, oh, the staff channels disappeared. That's what we want. So I'm going to click Disable, and you'll notice that I'm now back as the owner, and I need to change something. You know how I have staff chat, mod logs, updates, and then I have admin chat? Well, the moderator can actually see the admin chat. I go to Roles, go to Moderator, View Server as Role, I'm at Moderator, the moderator can see the admin chat. That's not what I want. I want it so that only the admin and myself can see the chat. So I'm going to click on Disable, then I'm going to right-click Admin Chat, click Edit Channel, go to Permissions, then I am going to remove the moderator access from this channel and click OK. Now what's going to happen is you're going to notice this pop up at the top saying permissions not synced with category staff. And what this means is that the permissions of this specific channel are different than the permissions of the category. But the way we have it now, it should work properly. Go to Server Settings, go to Roles, go to Moderator, go to View Server as Role. You'll notice that my moderator cannot see that admin chat, but if I go and click on my admin can see the admin chat. So perfect, it works the way it is. If I go back and I'm just everyone, they cannot see the staff channels whatsoever. So that's how you make channels visible, not visible. Very basic, but now let's get into a little more of the nuanced stuff. We need to figure out how to make it so that the rules channel, people just can't type in. So if I go to everyone here, you'll notice that I'm able to see these channels, and I'm even able to message in them. That's bad. Imagine your rules having people spamming blah, 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 blah. That would just be a complete mistake. Now I'm going to go back to the admin because it has administrator permissions, and I'm going to leave this tab up just so it gets very easy when I can just quickly switch through and show you how things work. So I'm going to stay as admin, and I'm going to now update the information category. I'm going to right click it, and I'm going to click Edit Category, and I'm going to go to Permissions. And now we don't want to make it a private category because we want everyone to see our rules. We just don't want people to type or talk in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Advanced Permissions, and this is where permissions come in to channels. Now you'll notice that these permissions are different than the ones for the roles. We have an X or a check mark or a slash. What do these mean? What does the check mark, what does all this crap mean? Basically, if it's at this slash, it means that it just copies what the role permission has. So you know how in our everyone role, we gave it permission to view channels, but we didn't give it permission to manage channels? Well, it's going to follow that. Basically, the way I have it now, if I press escape and I just view the server as everyone, I won't be able to edit this channel or any of the categories. If I go back to admin though, and let's just say information, and I edit the category, and I give everyone permission to manage these channels. That's a really dumb thing to do, but I'll show you why. If I give it a check mark and then escape, and I view the server as everyone, look, everyone can create channels, they can edit the channel, they can change the name of it. Very bad. So the way that this permission system works, specifically for channels, is that this is more of like an override instead of like having to stack them on top of each other. You want everyone to be able to view the channel. Now you can click the check mark, but just remember, this everyone role already has permission to view the channel, so we can just leave it at this slash. The main thing we don't want people to do is we don't want them to send messages, so we put an X on send messages. We don't want them to send messages. We also don't want them to, well, attach files and embed links, but that doesn't matter because those are actually contained in a message. We just don't want them to send a message, and we don't want them to react, because imagine your rules page filled with like a whole bunch of reactions with letters spelling out something vulgar. You don't want that, so click on X for that and click Save Changes. And that's basically all you really need to do, because if I press Escape and I view the server as everyone, you'll notice that I'm unable to type, I'm unable to react to any one of these channels. Perfect, that's exactly what you want. And just to show you it's not a bug, if I go to admin, I can go to this and I can react, create threads, I can do whatever, because I'm an admin. But as everyone, they don't get to send any messages. However, in your announcements channel, you might say like, oh guys, guess what? I passed grade 10 or something. I don't know what people celebrate this day and age. You want people to be able to react like, oh, congratulations, happy face emoji, party poppers. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to right click the announcements channel, because we're just focusing on the announcements channel, click edit channel, go to permissions, then we want to scroll down. And what we want to do is we want to have add reactions as this little slash. Now, if I click save changes, you'll notice that, okay, let me, as an admin, type in, I did it, guys, exclamation mark. As an admin, I'm able to react, but if I go to everyone, now everyone is able to add a reaction, so they can do whatever the heck they want, something stupid. Basically that. Everyone can now react to your announcements, but if I go to the rules, I'm unable to react to the rules. So just as a quick recap, if you modify the permissions in a category, it applies to every single channel in that category. However, you can modify a channel in a category and change its permissions and have it as something custom, so you can add reactions to a specific channel, but you have that overall kind of, you can't send a message in that specific category. Now, in terms of the enable and disable the buttons here, basically having it as an X makes sure that no one can send a message. Having it as a slash will just follow what the role permissions have, and giving it a check mark will override your role permissions and allow someone to manage a channel like I showed you before. So gee golly, that's a lot of permissions, and we just have one last thing to do, and that's just managing our voice channels. It's kind of very easy to do this one. Right click on a voice channel, click edit channel, and then we can have it as age restricted. We can change the bit rate, just making it higher quality or lower quality. Video quality, you can change that. And then we have this user limit. Having this user limit for like party kind of groups, you can have it as 7 or 6 or whatever. I'm gonna do it as 6 because it's even. You can have a different region, change it to whatever you want. Click save changes, and basically it'll make it so that only 6 people can join this specific voice chat. However, if you're an admin or you have managed channels permissions, you can just override this. So you can have 7 people or 6 normal people and 1 staff member in a channel. So now you have 7. So you can repeat this for the rest of the channels. So party 2, you can have this as, I don't know, maybe 25 users. You have a lot of people on your server, some sort of number. 1v1 edit channel, you can have this as just 2 people who duke it out on whatever Minecraft PvP. And then in terms of AFK, you really don't need to do anything, because if I join AFK, it says, oh, anyone there? You've gone AFK. If I press OK, you'll notice that I am muted. So that's it. You did probably the hardest part of any Discord server, is just setting up the permissions. Just understand that if you do modify the permissions, please go to your server settings, go to roles, go to any one of your roles and click view server as role, and then just make sure it works properly. So if I click select roles, you'll notice that as a moderator, I can't see the admin chat. If I go as an admin, I can see the admin chat. I can also customize and add channels. And if I go to everyone, you'll notice that I just have all the nice normal channels, no staff channel, and I can't talk in announcements, I can't talk in rules, I can't add a reaction in rules, but I can add a reaction to announcements. So just make sure to go through the server using this view server as function, and just make sure everything looks good and it works well, because if you don't, at some point, something might not work, or it's just always good to double check with this. All right, so we did roles, so you're not dead. Fantastic. you know, we got something to look forward to, and that's actually Automoderator. Now, unfortunately for my server, I don't have Automoderator actually enabled on it. It is a beta feature. However, I'm going to include Automoderator in this video because I'm going to assume that within the next couple months, Discord is going to have this as a public feature that everyone can use. So I will have to kind of jump to a different server and then go into their Automod settings. If your server doesn't have Automod settings, then just kind of skip this section. Once again, I have the timestamps for a reason, so it's easier for you. Just skip this section and move on to when I look at Carlbot. So you got Automod. Congratulations, we get to actually do a lot of fun stuff. So at the top, we have some commonly flagged words. We can click setup, and we can have it where we can turn on severe profanity, insults and slurs, and sexual content. We can have it so that those words get filtered out. You can block the message, and you can also send an alert to your mod logs channel. In this case, it's called moderator only, but it's your mod logs channel. Click add alert. And then you can add exempt roles or channels. So you can add, you know, for some reason I have new role and 321 on this server, but this could be like admins or moderators could say this word, or they could say it in staff chat. For example, you will have to say a couple of, you know, not so nice words in staff chat explaining a situation, and you don't want to be muted for it. So let's just say the finished section is part of the staff chat, or it's called staff chat or staff channels. Then you can select that category, or you can select specific channels. So category in all bold, channels with the hashtag, and you can also have voice channels. So if there's like that little voice chat text thing, if I go to the server here and go to the voice chat, you do have your own little text in here, so you can moderate through that. Regardless, let's go back to this server. Server settings, Automod, set this up, turn all these on, have that, select the mod logs channel, save changes. That's great. The thing with this though is that I personally think that Discord should add it so that if they do say a bad word, they'll get muted for a certain amount of time. And now you can do that using custom keyword rule. Now I'm going to click create, and you'll notice that we have a whole bunch of words we need to add in here. Then we can select a response of blocking the response, sending an alert, and we can send the alert to the mod logs channel. We can actually time out the user for a certain amount of time. So I'm going to do like 1 hour or something. Once again, you have your exempt roles or channels. It's optional. But what you can do here is, personally on my server, I have all of the very, very, very bad words that I'm not going to put on screen at all. And these are words that are similar to tiger, but just extremely bad. So to explain how this kind of word filter thing works, I'm going to have my rule name as block invite links. And that's because, in all honesty, I tried using words that kind of were close to bad words, and that it didn't make any sense. It was a complete mess. So I'm just going to use Discord invite links to explain how the little star thing works, because stars in your words are very important. So to start off, I want to block people sending discord.gg/ I don't know, fart or something, right? What this does is that anyone that sends this specific invite link will get timed out. But if they send something like discord.gg/ntts, a fantastic place to be, then they won't be timed out because it's not exactly matching. However, what we can do is we can modify this so that we remove fart and we add a star at the end. And what this means is that basically any word that contains discord.gg/ at the start of it will be scanned, and then it will be timed out. So in this case, we have in discord.gg/ntts, we have discord.gg/, we have this, and the star means any other letters at the end of the word. So this means that this matches and the star is any other letters at the end of the word. Kaboom, they match up. Now this message will be timed out. However, some people can get a little creative and do something like this, http / something like that. And now what's going to happen here is that it's not going to work, because what this is looking for is a word that contains discord.gg at the beginning, a slash, and then other crap at the end of it. In this case, this whole entire word contains http blah, 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 blah. What we're going to do is we're actually going to add a star at the beginning of the message. Now what this means is that any word that contains discord.gg/ in it will be timed out. So this has discord.gg/, and there's a star on the right and a star on the left. So that means any other letters that are surrounding it doesn't matter. All it's looking for is discord.gg/, and that will make it so that if someone sends a link like this, they will be timed out. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'm not explaining it again, so good luck figuring that out. But anyways, that's Automod. There are a lot of, things you can do with it. For example, on my server, we have harmful links, which is just some sort of beta. So if it's some sort of virus link, it'll get blocked. Commonly flagged words, we don't even have this set up at all. We just have it enabled for some reason, because why not? We have a whole bunch of really bad words here that I'm not going to open. We have server invites, which is what I showed you. And then we have IP grabbing links, so no one can set an IP grabber, at least in these domains. So yeah, it's a cool feature if you have it, but some people don't, and that's why we're moving on to Carlbot. Okay, Carlbot, link in the description. It's going to be sorted somehow. I already talked about this, but what we need to do is we need to go to that link. We need to log in with Discord. Now, once again, make sure you're on carl.gg. It should be, because I sent you the link to it, but just make sure. Then I want to add it to my Minecraft community server. Then it's going to pop up with here. Carlbot wants to create commands in a new server. I'm going to click Minecraft community server, and then I need to enter my Discord authentication code, which thankfully I have just right here, and I didn't even plan this. That's how prepared I am for this. I'm kidding, I'm not. Anyways, I click continue. We have all these permissions. Now, since Carlbot is the only bot that I'm adding in this video, I am going to give it all of these permissions. If you have different bots that are added, then you might want to limit the kind of permissions that the bots have. For example, if you only use Carlbot for reaction roles, then you don't need a lot of these permissions, and you will have to think about the permissions that I spent like 30 minutes explaining and use that to figure out what you want to give a specific bot. If you're just following along with what I'm doing, click authorize, okay? Basically, I'm using Carlbot for everything. Invalid two-factor code! Alright, so it got added, and what we need to do is we need to click get started, because it's very easy. Now, Carlbot can have custom prefixes, question mark, exclamation mark. You can have these as both. It's up to you. Just know that prefixes are gonna go away at some point. Discord really wants bot developers to use slash commands. So if you can't modify the prefix on a bot, you probably need to use slash commands. In this case, I'm just gonna click next. And now we have a welcome message. This is really up to you. If you want a welcome message to pop up when someone joins your server, it'll say like, oh, welcome, and have a little photo. You can have this as a preset. And if you click on it, it'll say, oh, this is the preset right here. And it'll be a message. You can also do customer, and you can have different variables and stuff. It's up to you. I personally like what Discord does already, so I'm gonna leave it as none. Okay, now we have reaction roles. This is the whole reason why I picked Carlbot, because this is really easy to do, okay? You can pick colors, you can pick continent, you can do whatever. So for colors, it's gonna say color roles. We want it to be posted in the get roles channel. We want the embed to have an accent color, so that's this little line. Why am I dragging that over? I'm a complete hot mess today. You know how we have this little line in our rules? That's this color right here. And then we have all these little kind of color roles here. Just leave them the way they are. Trust me, it's just easier. Click create reaction role, and it's going to create all the roles. Then we're gonna go to continents, and if you want people to have their continents, guess what? You can have the same thing. Maybe change the color a little bit, so you add a little bit of variation. Create reaction role. If you want zodiac signs, platforms, RPG roles, pronouns, League of Legends. I don't know why why is this funny? Anyways, we're gonna add these roles. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Discord, and we're going to have get roles, and we have all these different roles. We have the important ones. We got your color roles. We got where you're from, and we have League of Legends. Anyways, I'm burning this joke to death. Go to server settings, go to roles, and now we have all these roles, right? What we want to do is we want to drag Carlbot up to the top, make it above everything, because it's our super powerful moderator bot. We want it to moderate every part of our server. And then in terms of these reaction roles, just make sure that if you have like any moderator roles, that they're above these reaction roles. The way Carlbot has it set up, it's already good anyways. Just make sure Carlbot's on the top, okay? Awesome sauce. Does all this crazy crap. I don't even know. Anyways, it's done now. Click on next, and now we have a mute role. You can have a mute role. In this case, you can just click create one for me. It saves me a lot of time. And then what channel should mod logs be posted in? Guess what? In the mod logs channel that we already have. Perfect. Click next. And now we have Automod. Now, there's a lot of presets. You can have minimal, where it just has mutes. You have medium, which is a good fit for most. We're just gonna click on medium for now, okay? So less work for me, less work for you. Click on finish, and then it's gonna ask you to invite Piggy. Skip it. Piggy is a stupid bot. Just don't use it, okay? So Carlbot is pretty okay out of the gate. There's nothing you really have to change. This is something that I would definitely spend some time just getting to learn bots, because that will kind of open you up towards testing out whatever bot you want. Just main thing to do is read the documentation, go through and just see if there's any explanation on things. You could watch a YouTube video. I don't want to have this video as a Carlbot tutorial within a server tutorial. Just really crazy. I'm going to go over the bare minimum for Carlbot just so we have the server set up. And that's where you kind of would advance and go from here. So we want to go to the Automod tab, and then we have different things we can do. We can log our actions too, and we want to go to our mod logs channel. Drama channel, just you can read and it'll basically just, it's premium. Who cares? No one's gonna buy premium on this bot. Anyways, we have whitelisted channels and whitelisted roles. If you go to whitelisted roles, you'll notice that you don't have any of your staff roles in here. And that's because the permissions that I set up for staff make it so that Carlbot, not Dino, Carlbot already recognizes that they're staff. However, if you go through whitelisted roles and you see any of your staff roles, make sure to add them. So make sure to click on it, make sure it's in whitelisted roles. Then just click save on there, settings applied. And now we have bad links. Now what bad links do is basically makes it so that if anyone sends a link that's not within this domain, it'll count as an infraction. So it'll delete the message, it'll warn them, and it will mute them. Now, if you just want this to have, you don't want to worry about links, then all you need to do is just go to blacklist and make sure it's blank and click on save. That's basically it. Blacklist means that if anyone posts a link from a specific domain, so you could add in like, I don't know, some sort of bad place to be, so the hub, if you know what I mean, .com, you can add the hub.com, and if someone sends a link to that website, then they will get warned and muted. That's the way that this functions. Bad words, just leave it the way it is. You can add extra words, and it's case insensitive. So you know how we had those stars in the Discord Automod? If you looked at that part, if you didn't, basically what this means is that any words that contain these letters in this arrangement will be banned. So this word here, if you did like, if this word here, it would still count with this specific filter here. Anyways, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You can add more bad words if you want, and it will delete the message warn and temp mute for 10 minutes. Click save. Then we have bad invites, and basically what this means is that if someone sends an invite to their server, then you can have it where it will delete the message and mute them. In this case, I would have this as whitelist, and then if you have any specific servers that you want to advertise, for example, your friend's Discord server, then you just need to add their server ID. Now to get a server ID, you need to go to your Discord settings, scroll down, go to advanced, enable developer mode, then you right click on a server, click copy ID. If you go to Carlbot dashboard, you can paste in that ID, and kaboom. If anyone sends an invite link to my Discord server, then they won't get muted. Once again, click save. You have spam, this is very straightforward. If someone sends 6 messages in 4 seconds, it will mute them for 5 minutes. That's great. Mention spam, if someone has 4 mentions in 6 seconds, they'll get muted for 5 minutes. You can add different kind of like, punishments, so you can send a message in a channel. Anyways, Carlbot's kind of weird, but that's just it. By default, it just works. Warn threshold, if someone gets 8 warnings, they'll get muted. You can change this number. And attachment spam, if someone sends 4 files in 15 seconds, they'll get muted for 5 minutes. This is the very basic features that you go over, and this will probably affect you on day-to-day stuff, but this is the stuff you want to look for if any of your messages are just randomly getting deleted and Carlbot's like, oh, you got warned for putting in something. This is where you want to look. So that's kind of all of the Automod stuff, just things that would probably annoy you with Carlbot that you can customize. Now, once again, I'd like to go in more depth, but it doesn't really make sense. The video is already too long anyways. Once you do get comfortable with your server, start exploring Carlbot's dashboard and go through the settings and commands and figure out what you can do with Carlbot, because it's surprisingly capable. It's just really easy to set up, and that's why I picked it. It's less time and effort for me. And, it's easy to set up, and it's nice. So go for it. Go through all these settings, have fun, and learn stuff, because it's actually kind of fun to learn. I know. I admit I'm a nerd and I'm a loser. Anyways, let's go back to your server, and let's just see it in action. I can click on red. I get the red color role. I can say I'm from North America. I play top, middle, and bottom, and I don't support people, and I don't play jungle because I don't like getting yelled at, and kaboom. Now I have those roles. If I go to in here, I can talk because I'm an admin, but if I go back and I go server settings and where is it again? Roles, and I view as everyone. So how do I do that again? Fill, boom, view server as role. You'll notice that, I'm, just able to just add the roles. I'm not able to type. And if I go to the muted role that Carlbot added, you'll notice that I am unable to type in any channel because Carlbot did that automatically. Thank you, Carlbot. You saved me a lot of time. Anyways, sweetheart, that is your server. Make sure to invite people, but don't spam your invites. Just have it in your, your profile and your about me. Or, try to be nice. There's a lot of servers like mine that hate self-promotion because it's annoying. So don't spam invites in random servers unless it's explicitly allowed. And don't spam DM invites through, Discord's invite thing here, because it's just spam DM inviting, and it's against the rules, I think, on Discord. I think it's just bad. Just don't do it, okay? You get banned, you hear me? Anyways, sweetheart, I'm gonna go drink some water because my throat's on fire and I gotta edit this bad boy. So I'll see you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, not tomorrow for you, because I'm uploading this tomorrow. It's 2 o'clock and I gotta edit this thing, and yeah, I got I don't know, an hour and a half of footage. Oh goodness me, look at me again. I'm arguing with myself. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. I love you, sweetheart. Mwah!